जय जिनेन्द्र। मंगलमय मंगल करण वीतराग विज्ञान नमो ताहि जाते भये हरिहंतादि महान करि मंगल करि हो महा ग्रंथ करन को काज जाते मिले समाज सब पावे निज पद राज। आचार्य कल्प Pandit Pravar Todarmal ji has written this Moksha Marg Prakashak, and we are on to the 6th chapter, page number 261. So this whole chapter, one minute. So this whole chapter explains us the nature of a false god, false preceptor, and false religion. So we have already completed false god. Discussion on that has already been done. We are in the verge of completing the discussion on false preceptor. And then today only we will start the next topic, that is about the false religion. Okay. So we are on to page number 261. I can make you a co-host, Jinali. You can share the textbook. You are muted.
Oh, yeah. Sir, I don't know how to go about.
Okay, no problem. You will be able to share, Rajeshri ji?
Yeah, I'll do it, sir. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
then
do it.
I'm making you
1 minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made you a co-host. You can share at your convenience, no problem. So we are on to the page number 261 and the last paragraph. Do you have the textbook with you, Jinali?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the last question, the Nigrans also take food. Okay. From there you have to read.
The Nigranthas also take food. Answer. The Nigranthas do not take food with inferiority complex and greed passion by praising the donor, so their supremacy is not affected. The greedy only suffers from complexes. Therefore, the Nirgranthas only possess supremacy in all respects. No other jivas excepting the Nirganthas are meritorious in all respects. Therefore, superiority and inferiority are to be considered only from the viewpoint of possession of merits and demerits, respectively. Therefore, doubtless adoration is not possible. Moreover, accepting the Nirgranthas, whatever religious conduct is observed by the other jivas, so-called monks, can be followed in the same degree or of higher degree even by the householders. Then, in such a case, who should be regarded as guru? Therefore, only those Nirgrantha monks who have no external and internal possessions and attachments are to be known as true Guru, real preceptors. Here, someone may ask, such gurus are not found here in the present time. Hence, as the installation of Arihanta God is his idol, similarly, the installations of the gurus are these sanctimonious persons. Answer. For example, if someone treats the portrait of a king to be the king, then that portrait is not a rival of the king. But if some ordinary person wants himself to be treated as the king, then that person is the rival of the king. Similarly, if someone makes the installation of Arihanta god, etc., in stone, etc., then that idol is not a rival of him. But if some ordinary person wants himself to be treated as monk, then such a person is the rival of the monks. If even in the this way the installation mm, be possible, then get yourself be treated as arihanta also. And if an ordinary person is installed as a true monk, then at least outwardly he must possess the characteristics of a true monk. But the true monk, Nirgrantha, is totally possessionless, naked, homeless, ascetic, whereas the so called monks, gurus, are having a lot of possessions. How such installation is possible? Should I continue, sir?
No, stop. Let me explain this first. So the discussion was that mm, why we should adore the Nigranthas only, okay, and why they should be considered as guru. Okay, guru means preceptor. So why only Nigranth? Why not householder? Why not some other people who wears different kinds of dresses? Only naked, possessionless monk should be considered as guru. Why? That was the discussion going on, and while discussing that uh, the last discussion that we had in the last class was that uh, except the Nigranth, no other person possesses the supremacy in all respects. Okay. For example, if a greedy person delivers lectures on Shastra, then the listeners regard him superior. Okay. Because he delivers discourses wherein the discoursers regards the listener superior because they offer him wealth, clothes, etc. Although outwardly the discourser is superior, yet being greedy internally, he does not possesses superiority in all respects. That means they want to convey that a discourser or the guru should not be greedy. If he is greedy, he will not be able to do justice while preaching. Okay? Because he has consideration that if I talk good things about Jinali, Jinali will offer me something. If I appreciate Jinali, she will give me something. So with that expectation, the preacher cannot do justice. You know what is to be said, what is to be not said, uh, what discipline should be observed and what discipline could not should not be observed, all these things. So Nigranths are always fearless. They don't have any expectation from anybody. Even the Chakravarti comes and bows to him, he doesn't get affected. Even if no somebody doesn't come and bow to him, they are not affected. They are always in eternal bliss all the time. Okay, that is a true Nigranth monk. Okay, so now the next question is, the Nigranths also take food. So they are not superior being, they also take food just as we do take food. So the answer, the Nigranths do not take food with inferiority complex. That is the difference. Okay. They are not asking for alms. They don't take food with inferiority complex and greed passion by praising the donor. So their supremacy is not affected. In fact, they take vows that I will take food if some lady offers me food who has done 3 days fasting, who have not who is bald, means who has no hair on the head, and who are uh, who are under the shackles in his foot. Okay, all these conditions.
Swami.
Yeah, Mahavir Swami, Channa Dasi. So all these conditions, if it gets fulfilled, then only I will accept food. So the monks are such that they test themselves whether I am able to remain calm in those situations, whether I am able to manifest uh, deep introspective meditation at that point of time. All these things that real monks do for themselves. But a greedy monk will not be able to do such things. So the Nigransa, they are very superior beings. They don't have any inferiority complex. They don't have any greed passion. Okay. So their supremacy is always maintained. The greedy only suffers from the complexes. Therefore, the nigranthas means the one who is possessionless, who is naked, they only possesses the supremacy in all respects. And when they possess this supremacy in all respect, then they are always revered by the people who worship them. No other jivas excepting the Nigrans are meritorious in all respects, worth appreciating in all respect. Therefore, superiority and inferiority are to be considered only from the viewpoint of possessions of merits and demerits respectively. So if he possesses merits, then he is superior. If he possesses demerits, then he is inferior. Therefore, dauntless adoration is not possible. Moreover, accepting the Nigranth, whatever religious conduct is observed by other jivas, okay? 1 minute. Oh. Moreover, accepting the Nigrants, whatever religious conduct is observed by other jivas, so-called monks, can be followed in the same degree or of higher degree even by the householders. Then such a case who should be regarded as guru. Therefore, only those Nigrants monks who have no external and internal possessions and attachments are to be known as true gurus, real preceptor, and they with their effort have conquered the three levels of passions, three quadruplet levels of passions, Anantanubandhi, Apratyakhan and Pratyakhan. Only the Sanjolan Kashai is left, so they are the true gurus. Okay. Then another question. Here someone may ask, such gurus are not found here in the present time. Hence, as the installation of Aryan the god is his idol, so we install the idol of Aryan in the temple. Okay. Similarly, the installation of the gurus are these sanctimonious persons. Who are these sanctimonious persons? The person who wear different kinds of dress, like Osho and Asharam, and you have seen this Ramdev. So these are some of the persons, they wear different kinds of dresses to establish their identity. Okay. So, if we don't get any Nigranth Guru, if we don't come across any Nigranth Guru, we cannot consider this false gurus as true guru. Okay. So that is the question. Answer. For example, if someone treats the portrait of a king to be the king, then the portrait is not a rival of the king. But if some ordinary person wants himself to be treated as king, then that person is the rival of the king. Okay. Similarly, if someone makes the installation of Aryanta god, etc. 1 minute, I'll
Sir,
make
I'm
you
sorry,
co-host.
sir, I
Yeah,
could not share it.
no
You can
problem.
make Aditi
Yeah,
ji. Yeah,
Aditya, I
sorry about it.
made your host.
Yeah.
Okay. If someone makes the installation of Aryan god, etc. in stone, then that idol is not a rival of them. Okay. But that is a true replica of Aryant. But if some ordinary person wants himself to be treated as a monk, then such person is the rival of the monks, because they should possess the quality of the monk, of the true monk. Okay. And even if in this way the installation is possible, then get yourself be treated as Aryanta also. And if an ordinary person is installed as a true monk, then at least outwardly he must possess the characteristics of a true monk. But the true monk, Nigranthas, is totally possessionless, naked, homeless, ascetics, whereas the so-called monks are having lot of possession. how such installation is possible. So as we install the Pratima of Aryant in the temple, similarly we cannot install a ordinary person to be a Nigranth monk. Okay, he should possess that qualities. Okay, the qualities that a true monk possesses. So if that quality matches, and if the external appearance like conduct also matches, then we could consider them as a replica of the monk, true monk. Okay, but if it doesn't matches, if they are having possessions, then they are in no way to be considered as true preceptor. Then again there are questions. There is one question, and one more is coming up. Okay, so first we will discuss this question. In the present time, okay, so now with the deterioration of time, you are able to share, Aditi? I made you a host.
Jai Jain sir,
Acha, acha. Okay,
I'm
you
just
are.
trying to.
Sorry. I
No
thought.
issue.
Okay,
I'm
no
just trying
problem.
to share the screen. Just a second.
You will be able. Then otherwise, I will make Aditi shy.
No, I can share the screen. I just need the exact page number.
Page number is 262. So the next question is, in the present time, the Sravakas, with deterioration of time, the true monks are also not there. Then the Sravak, the Jaina householder, too are not found as they ought to be. Because if there is a true monk in existence, then there should be some people who are true Savaks also, who can offer food to that monk. Okay, and if there are Sravaks also not available, so how can a true monk survive in that area? Okay, so they have found out a new way. They are saying, the argument they are giving, the ignorant person is giving the argument that in the present time the Sravakas, Jaina householders, too are not found as they ought to be. Therefore, the monks are also not found as they ought to be. So we worship them. Okay. So even the Sravaks are also of not that category. Then let's accept the monk to be of that category, because the Sravak are also not the same as they ought to be. So the answer is very interesting, uh, that we will read now. You are on to page 262. This is 230. So who will read the answer? Rajesh, you can read the answer. You have the textbook with you, right?
I've got the textbook, sir.
Yeah.
Uh,
Page 262,
actually,
last paragraph.
can you just tell me the first starting of it?
In the scripture, the term Shravaka is
Last
used.
Because
Bottom
no,
of page 262.
actually, I've got the other PDF from the smaller version. So I
Oh,
don't know which page it is.
Okay, should I read?
Yeah,
yeah.
please.
Yeah.
In the present time, the Shravakas, the Jain householders, too are not found as they ought to be. Therefore, the monks are also not found as they ought to be. So we worship them. Answer. In the scripture, the term Shravak is used for all the Jain householders, irrespective of whether he is a votary or a non-votary. King Shrenik was also an incontinent non-votary, but in Uttar Puran, he has been stated as the best Shravak. In the 12 kinds of assembly halls in the omniscient Jain Samosaran, one arena is meant for Shravaks, but all of them were not votaries. If all of them were votaries, then the number of non-votaries should, number of non If all were votaries, then the number of non-votaries, incontinent persons, should have been specified separately. But it is not specified. Hence, all Jain householders are given the name of Shravak. But the term monk, guru was nowhere being used for any person except the Nirgrans. Further, the Shravaks, all Jain householders, are stated to possess 8 basic rights, that is, the 8 primary moral characters called mood guns. Therefore, the eating and taking of wine, meat, honey, and the 5 types of udambaras, figs, fruits, which contain tras juice, is not found in the Shravaks. So somehow Shravakship is possible, but the monk's basic rights, that is the Murguns, are 28, which are not seen in the sanctimonious persons. Hence the 28 which are not, hence the monkship is not at all possible from any point of view. Further, in the householder state, Jambu Kumar, etc. are described to have indulged excessively in the acts of injury, etc. But after accepting monkhood, none indulged in any acts of injury, nor kept any possessions and attachments. Therefore, your above stated argument cannot be maintained. Further, it is stated in the scripture that the 4,000 kings, after adopting asceticism, along with Lord Adinath Ji, became corrupt later on. Then Devas, gods of heaven, warned them, if you will follow wrong conduct after accepting Jin Linga, Nirgranth monkhood, we will punish you. After giving up Jin Linga, you may indulge in whatever practice you like. Therefore, those who follow wrong conduct after accepting Jain monkhood are punishable. How could such person be revered? What more to say? Those who indulge in perverse practices after accepting Jain Linga, Nirgranth monkhood, they are great sinners. Other Jews who attend on them and worship them are also great sinners. There is a story in Padma Puran Shastra that one devout Shravak named Shreshti did not offer food to the monks possessed of supernatural power of moving in sky by believing them corrupt under suspicion. How is then offering of food, etc., possible to those who are clearly corrupt? One may say, in our inner self, we have true belief, but outwardly, due to fear of public censure, we respect them. Therefore, we will reap the fruit according to our inner belief. Answer. In Ashtapahut Shastra, paying regard due to shyness is negated. This was stated earlier. If someone forcibly makes you bow your head with folded hands, then one can argue that it is not according to our inner self. But if you yourself, after salutation, etc., due to pride, passion, etc., then how not to attribute involvement of inner conscience in such act? For example, if someone internally believes meat eating is bad, but for the sake of pleasing the king, etc., he eats the meat, then how could he be treated as a votary? Similarly, if someone internally believes adoration, etc., of false preceptors as bad, but for the sake of pleasing them and other persons, he adores them, then how could he be a true believer? Hence, on outward renunciation only, the internal renunciation is possible. Therefore, for the true believer, the adoration, etc., of false preceptors, etc., is not justifiable from any point of view. In this way, the adoration of false preceptors is prohibited.
Stop. So, what is votary and non-votary? Okay. In the second line itself, from where we started, there is a word called he is a votary or a non-votary. So what do you mean by votary? Can anyone know?
Eligible,
Anyone?
correct.
Votary means here Sanyami. Sanyam. The one who has renounced something and has got internal purity, that is called Sanyami. Okay. So in the scripture, the term Savak is used for all Jain householders. Even a person who is going to a temple only once a day and he is doing nothing else, he is also considered as Shravak, because that is the general terminology given for any householder going to the temple as Shravak. But for monk, it is not so. Anybody and everybody cannot be a monk. The monk has to compulsorily uh, be possessionless, naked, and he should also have destroyed the 3 levels of passion. Then only he is considered as a true monk. Okay. So it cannot be just as we say Shravak to each and everybody who goes to the temple, even they are not woe holders, they are still called the Shravak, because that is the general terminology used for all the householders. So is not with the monk. A monk has got a specific attribute with them, and those are 28 attributes. Okay, without any blemishes. They are they observe these 28 mul gunas. Okay, special attributes, and that's why they are considered as monk. So monk is a category where only those who follow this kind of life, they are only considered as monk, true monk, and those true monks are only considered as guru. So to consider a guru to anybody and everybody who are having some sort of renunciation in his life is not true. Okay. So the question was that the Stravakas are also not that category as they ought to be. So what is why harm when the monks are also of that category? So it is not to be worshipped. Those people are not the true monks, and they cannot be considered as guru. Okay. So the term guru is very special, with special attributes in them. They are only considered as guru. Okay. So even the teachers, the parents, all they are called guru in the literal sense, but they are not the true guru. The true guru is always the monk, naked, possessionless monk with uh, who has destroyed the 3 levels of passion. These are the minimum qualities, and from outside you can see the 28 special characteristics that they adopt in their life. Okay. Further, the Sravakas are stated to possess 8 basic right, 8 fundamental attributes. The renunciation of uh, 3 M's, Mad, Mas, and Madira. So Madira is wine, and Mas is meat, and Mad is honey. So these 3, wine, meat, and honey, we did study this in Balbodh part 1. Okay. And 5 types of Udambar Phal, Udambar fruits called figs, which contains Tras Jivas. Tras means 2 cents to 5 cents being. Okay. Is not found in the Sravakas. So these 8 fundamentals should be there with everyone to be considered as Sravak. Okay. So those who are observing this, although they are not the woe holders in the 5th stage as the actual Shravak should be, but still they are considered as Shravak. So Shravakship is still possible because they have done from outside this, they are observing these 8 fundamentals. Okay. But the monk's basic rights, the mul gunas, 28 mul gunas, are 28, which are not seen in the sanctimonious person, the person who is, I said, wearing different kinds of robes, veshdhari. Those who are not the true monk, but they consider themselves to be a true monk, they are not having this 28 mul gunas. They are not observing these basic rights. Okay. Hence, the monkship is not at all possible from any point of view. Further, in the householder state, Jambu Kumar. So we already studied the story of Jambu Kumar, and he was not inclined on marrying, but their parents insisted, and the other 4 queens, the daughter of kings who were supposed to marry him, they also said that if we marry, we'll marry Jambu Kumar only. So Jambu Kumar married, but he then renounced everything and became a monk. And all the 4 queens also became a monk. And even their parents also renounced the worldly life and they all became monks. So that story you must remember. So that story is being discussed here, that in the householder state, Jambu Kumar, etc., are described to have indulged excessively in the acts of injury. Injury here means violence. Okay. But nor kept any possessions. Okay. And attachment. Therefore, your above stated argument cannot be maintained. Okay. So they were, he was from outside a true monk without any possessions and attachment, but still he was indulging in injury. So that person cannot be called a true monk. Further, it is stated in the scripture that 4,000 kings, okay. So when Lord Adinath, King Adinath got initiated into monkhood, the other 4,000 kings also initiated into monkhood, seeing Lord Adinath, okay. But Adinath had conquered the 3 levels of passion, and so he was a true monk. But the others only renounced the clothes and everything, but they never manifested the purity that is required in the absence of 3 levels of passions. Okay. So what happened? Adinath was all the time engrossed in himself into deep introspective meditation, but this king don't know what to do. So they started behaving this way and that way, and they become corrupt. Okay. So when they become corrupt, and from the outside they were pretending to be a true monk. Okay. So then the devas came from Swarg and scolded them that if you follow wrong conduct after accepting Jain monkhood, then we will punish you. If you want to be a Jain monk, you have to observe the 28 basic rites. Okay. There could not be any compromise on that. So why the devs came from heaven and scolded them? Just because they don't want uh, to depict that Jain monks are like that. They are also corrupt and they also behave in that way. So the sanctity and the purity of a true monk should be maintained. So they scolded them, and they forced them to give up monkhood and just become a householder. There is nothing wrong in becoming a householder. In fact, householder is considered to be a starting step towards monkhood. So it is not that if you are a householder, you are corrupted. It is not that say, because that same householder only is going to become a monk. Okay. With 5th stage, the 12 kinds of woes will come, then 11 kinds of pratimas will come, and that particular householder will become a monk one day. Okay. So being a householder is nothing something bad. Okay. In fact, it is the right way of approaching the spiritual development. Okay. So you take you observe post what is possible in your situations. Okay. So after giving up Jinling, you may indulge in whatever practice you like. Okay. Therefore, those who follow the wrong conduct after accepting the Jain monkhood are punishable. Okay. How could such persons be revered? No, they are not worth giving respect. Okay. On the contrary, they are punishable because they are pretending what they are not. Right. So these things are not encouraged in Jainism. What more to say? Those who indulge in perverse practices after accepting Jain Ling, Nigranth monkhood, they are great sinners. Other jivas who attend on them and worship them are also great sinners. It is not only they are great sinners, but those who follow them, those who worship them are also great sinners. There is a story in Padma Puran, Shastra, that one devout Shravak named Shreshti did not offer food to the monks possessed of supernatural power. What is this supernatural power? There are some Riddhyas with monks. They are 64 in numbers. And they have acquired these special qualities by their power of engrossing in themselves. Okay, so when you engross in yourself, automatically some powers come to you, but they never use it for their own benefit. As we have seen in the case of Vishnu Kumar Muniraj, he was possessing that special quality of becoming small or big. Okay, but he never used it and even never know it. So the other people mentioned them that you are having this quality, so exercise your right and save the 700 monks from suffering. Okay, then he left his monkhood and he became a Brahmin, and he went to the king and then asked for 3 steps, and then he suddenly increased his size of the body and he covered the whole land by 2 foot only. And that's how the inflictions on the monk was stopped by the king. Okay, because now he has become a king. So how is then offering of food, etc., possible to those who are clearly corrupt? No way. Okay. On the contrary, you are not doing good for them, but on the contrary, you are binding inauspicious karma because of your ignorance of not identifying a true monk. Okay. So you tell me, what is the criteria of identifying a true monk? What could be a criteria, Rajeshri ji?
It should be possessionless. He should not
Okay.
possess anything.
Okay.
No clothes, nothing. And he should, the 3, what is that called? The 3 levels of passion should be conquered.
Yes, but you cannot make out from outside, no, whether he is now having 2 levels of passions or he has conquered 3 levels of passions. That you
No,
cannot make out from
that
outside, right?
cannot make out.
That
But
the monk
that you can't
itself
make out.
knows. So how
Yeah.
do you identify whether he is a true monk or not from outside?
He should not be greedy and not look into things which is
Okay.
not needed
Okay.
for him.
Okay. So the 28 basic rights, they are the emblem of identifying them. Okay. So you should see that they are observing 28 basic rights without any blemishes. Then from outside, if they are observing this, then we should bow to them. We should give respect to them. And this person could not give respect to them because of suspicion. Okay. So this Shrestha did not offer food to the monks who were actually true monks, but he could not offer food to them by believing them corrupt. So that was his mistake. Under suspicion, how is then offering of food, etc., possible to those who are clearly corrupt? So even those who were not corrupt, still the Shrestha didn't give him food because of suspicion. So how then, who are clearly corrupt, uh, who doesn't observe the 28 basic rights, mul guns, how they can be considered as monk? Okay, so it is very clear. Now, one may say that we have read this one, no? In ourselves, we have true belief, but outwardly, due to fear of public censor, we respect them. Okay. So in our inner self, we have true belief that they are not the true monk, but because of public censor, we respect them. Therefore, we will reap the fruit according to our inner belief. So in Aspaud, it's very clearly mentioned that no, whatever is your belief, it should also match their external behaviors. Okay. So if you innerly believe that they are not the true monks, then you need not respect them as a true monk. You can always say Jai Jinendra, but not as you say Namastu to a monk. Okay. So you should not uh, offer prayer to them with the 8 substances. Okay. As we do to a true monk. Okay. So in Aspaut Shastra, paying regard due to shyness is negated. This was stated earlier. So because of shyness, you should not respect. Because of fear, you should not respect. And because of pride also, you should not respect. Okay. If someone forcibly makes you bow your head with folded hands, okay, then one can argue that it is not according to our inner self. But if you yourself offer salutation, etc., due to pride, passion, etc., then how not to attribute involvement of inner conscious in such act? Okay, so that means it is not proper. Okay, so you should, from outside, you can just examine the 28 basic rights he is following or not, and if he is following, you should give him respect as a true monk. Okay. For example, if someone internally believes meat eating as bad, but for the sake of pleasing the king, etc., he eats the meat, then how could he be treated as a votary, continent, Sanyami? Okay. So he is not a Sanyami because he is believing meat eating to be bad, but for the sake of pleasing somebody else, if you are eating the meat, then it means that you have a belief also of that level. Okay. It is not possible that you believe that uh, this is uneatable, and because to please somebody, you keep on eating. That means your belief is not perfect. Okay. Then how could he be treated as a votary? Okay. How could he be treated as a Sanyami? Okay. Similarly, if someone internally believes adoration, etc., of false preceptors as bad, okay, but for the sake of pleasing them and other persons, he adores them, then how could he be called a true believer? So he is not a true believer. Okay. So internally he believes, uh, if you believe that somebody is not a true monk, you should not give him respect as a true monk. Okay. You can say Jai Jinendra, you can have other formalities with him, but not as a monk. Okay. Sadharmik Vatsalya is fine, but not respecting, one should not respect them as a true monk. Okay. Sometimes people do respect out of fear also, because they have heard that they possess a special power. So if you don't bow to them, if you don't give respect to them, they will harm you. They can do this and that. So someone also adores because of fear, but that is not correct. Okay. So that shows that you are not a true believer. A true believer will always be firm in his decision in whatever circumstances that comes along uh, in his worldly life. Okay, because his true belief will resonate in all aspects of life. Okay, and he did not compromise in any of the principles that he is understood and that he is proud of. Okay. Hence, an outward renunciation only, hence, on outward renunciation only, the internal renunciation is possible. Okay. Therefore, for the true believer, the adoration, etc., of false preceptor is not justifiable from any point of view. Under no circumstances you should succumb to any kind of pressure. If you are not believing, you don't give respect as a true monk. And if you give respect as a true monk, even if you know that he is not a true monk, then you will bind inauspicious karma. You will harm your own destiny. In this way, the adoration of false preceptors is prohibited. So the discussion has not stopped. There is further few discussions left, and then we will end this false preceptors discussion. So now again, somebody has to read. So I
So
think,
just a question.
yeah.
So when you say this, hence an outward renunciation, only the internal renunciation is possible. So that outward renunciation comes only through knowledge and hut. I mean, you do it forcibly first.
See, both things go parallel in parallel. It is possible that your um, internal belief is correct, and from outside you are not observing. Okay. No, sorry, other way around. It may be possible that somebody is uh, observing the 28 basic rights from outside, and from inside he may not be a true believer. That is still possible. But it is never possible that somebody has manifested purity to the level of the destruction of 3 levels of passion, and from outside he is not a monk. That is not possible. So the outward behavior always precedes before the internal purity is acquired. Okay. Now I'll give you an example. Okay. You have not attained right belief. Okay. But still, as you understand the scriptures, you will not go and eat in a non-veg restaurant. Okay. You are not a true believer. But still, by just studying also, you are on the path of becoming a true believer. So you will never indulge in that kind of behavior. Okay. So the behavior always precedes the internal purity. Okay. So if internally you have renounced 3 levels of passions, so externally also the observance would be voluntarily observed.
But sometimes, sir, out of pressure, out of something, you have to do it. Otherwise, you end up into a some different fight.
That is true. That is true. But like, you have to be bold enough to accept the truth. Okay. There cannot be compromise on God, preceptor, and religion. Dev, Shastra, Guru. You should never compromise, come what may. It may be possible that you want to observe and you are not able to observe. That is a different thing. But at least your understanding should be correct, no? Whether they are worth whether they are worth giving respect of a true preceptor or not, that understanding you should develop. Okay, that is what it says. Okay. Okay. Now again a question. How can false belief be attributed to a true believer of tattvas if he adores the false preceptors? Todarmalji has given a very good example. Okay. And who will read? Who is left? 1 minute. Sasikala ji, you read.
From answer, as a chaste woman, that one, no?
Yeah.
As a chaste woman never cohabits with any other man except her husband. Similarly, a true believer of tattvas never offers salutation, etc. to a false preceptor as he does to a true preceptor, because he has firm belief in jiva, etc. tattvas, 7 tattvas, etc. means that 7 tattvas. Tattvas, that is, in his belief, there is total negation of attachment, etc., passions, and highest regard for passionlessness. Therefore, he offers salutation, etc., to those monks, true preceptors, only who possess passionlessness, knowing them adorable, and never offers salutations, etc., to those so-called monks who possess attachment, etc., passions, knowing them unadorable. Someone may say, we offer salutations, etc., to these so-called monks with the same view with which we offer salutations, etc., to the kings, etc. Answer: the kings, etc., have no place in religious tradition, but the preceptor's adoration is a part of religious tradition. Reverence to the kings, etc., is done with a motive of greed, etc., where the rise of charitra moksha, contact deluding karma only is possible. But the adoration of false preceptors in place of true preceptors is a contrary practice, because The instrumental cause of right belief in tattvas is a true preceptor. Therefore, due to shyness, if someone adopts perverse instrumental cause, then how could he attain staunch belief in tattvas, which is desired result? Hence, the rise of darshan moha, faith deluding karma, is possible there. Thus ends the discussion of characteristics of a false preceptor.
So, the example coming to my mind right now is that, Kanji Swami was a monk in the Svetambar Sampradaya, okay, Sthanakwasi Sampradaya. And then he got access to these scriptures, and he knew that what I am doing is not correct, okay. So he wanted to left that monkhood, because from outside people called him a monk, and internally he knew that he is not a true monk, okay. So he left that community. And those people, they say that if you leave this mopatti, the one that they wear on the mouth, the mopatti, if you leave this mopatti, then we will not give you food, okay. So what he said, that I have never initiated myself into monkhood for the sake of food. If my body has to survive, I will get food by any chance, okay. So he was such a firm believer that no one came to support him, and he single-handedly left that sect where he was being respected with such high regard, even to that extent he left it, and he became an ordinary Shravak in the Digambar Sampradaya. Although there were no Digambar at that point of time in Songad to protect him, to help him, to give him food, nothing. But still, he used to take one day a meal, and the other day used to be taking fast. And they were, I think, 3 people. So one day one will take food, then the next day another will take food, like that. So he survived like this for 3 years. He struggled. And because of that struggle and all the purity, internal purity that he got, the ethics in his life that were there, and because of that, he became so famous, and there was so much of prabhavana through him, But the initial struggle that he had done, that nobody knows. So, if you are a true believer, you will never compromise on the basic principles, okay? So that is what came to my mind with the Jinali's question. So there are no majburi for you. We are all independent, and our belief should be such firm that we never compromise on true God, true scriptures, and true monks. Okay, there could not be any compromise in that. And that is the first step towards acquiring right belief. Todarmalji has, in this scripture only, the 9th chapter, he has given 4 characteristics to get the true belief. And what are these 4 characteristics? The first one is he should be a believer of true God, true scriptures, and true monk. The first quality. Then the second is he should be able to discriminate between the second is he should have a right belief about the 7 fundamental elements. That is the second characteristics. And the third is he should be able to discriminate between the self and the non-self. And the fourth is he should have faith in the self. So these 4 characteristics, the first characteristic, there is no compromise on true God, true scriptures, and true monk. Okay. So that is the first step. So if you are compromising on that front, that means you can never have a true belief. Okay. This is a prerequisite in acquiring a true belief. So that's why Swamiji left that sampradaya, left that comfort zone, and struggled a bit, and then he went into the growth zone, and you can see the result that in his time there were 66 new temples created all over the world. The last one that he attended, the Pratishtha, was the Nairobi temple. Darshit is there in Nairobi. So that temple, Swamiji went there for the pratishtha, and that's how it was done. So 66 temples and so lakhs of followers. And in the history of Jainism in the last 1000 years, even a monk could not construct such 66 temples under his influence. Okay. So there was a different kind of firm belief in Swamiji, and that's why he was able to weather the problems and the storm that the Sthanapasi people created at that point of time, because he has a firm belief that I'm not going to compromise on my monkhood. If I am a monk, I will consider myself a monk. If I am not a monk, I will never say that I am a monk. Okay. So that struggle and everything comes. So Gandhiji wrote a book about truth, my experiment with truth. So truth itself has so much power that if you are believing in the truth, then no matter how difficult the task would be, it gets done. But you should have a belief. You should have a conviction about it. Okay. Now the question, how can false belief be attributed to a true believer of tattvas? Okay, if he adores the false preceptor. So if he is adoring the false preceptor, then he is now never having a true belief about the 7 fundamentals. That is for very sure. I just now said that the first condition is the belief in true God, true scriptures, and true monks. There cannot be any compromise. So Totamalji gave a very good example of a chaste woman. Shilvrati Stri. Okay. Shilvan Stri. As a chaste woman never cohabits with any other man except her husband. So she carries so much respect for her husband that he never cohabits with any other man than her husband. Similarly, a true believer of tattvas never offers salutation to a false preceptor as he does to a true preceptor. So you have to be very firm, and that firmness automatically comes. You don't have to compromise anywhere. I struggled a lot when I left. I was into a business which was illegal kinds. We were evading taxes, and then we used to buy smuggled goods and all. I was into that business. And then I came in touch with this religion, and I read the scriptures, and then I had a strong belief about the 7 fundamentals, and I left that business. And I struggled a bit and started new business which was totally legal. And then I prospered, and ultimately I left those business also. So I have done in my life I've taken up many challenges in my life, and every time I came out winner just on the basis that I believed in what is truth. Okay. So you should never compromise on truth. If you have any issues in your life in that sense, then you can contact me personally. I will give you arguments that why you should not give up on the truth. Okay. So a true believer will never salute to a false preceptor. Okay. Because he has firm belief in Jeev, etc., the 7 fundamentals. There is total negation of attachments, etc., passions, and highest regard for passionlessness. Okay. Therefore, he offers salutation to those monks, true preceptors, only who possesses passionlessness, knowing them adorable, and never offers salutations to those so-called monks. So-called monks, they are not true monks, but the so-called monks who possesses attachments, passions, knowing them unadorable. Someone may say, we offer salutation, etc., to the so-called monks with the same view with which we offer salutation, etc., to the kings. So the kings are not an authority in the true religion. Okay, the kings have no place in religious tradition, but the preceptor's adoration is a part of religious tradition. So if you are offering salutation to a false preceptor, then it is affecting your belief system. So there could not be any compromise on that. Reverence to the kings, etc., is done with the motive of greed. Okay, I am respecting king. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Why? Because I want some benefit from the king. So my greed is there. Whereas the rise of charitra moh, conduct deluding karma, only is possible. Okay, so there are two types of monia karma. Okay, deluding karma. One is faith deluding karma, and the other is conduct deluding karma. So it may be possible that you have eliminated the faith deluding karma, but because of conduct deluding karma, you may act contrarily, but still your belief is right. Okay, so there is no harm in that belief. Your belief is correct, but because of charitra moh, you may act otherwise. You may not be able to sustain the uh, onslaught of the rise of karmas. Okay, so you may indulge in some of the, you may get indulged in some of the activities which is appearing quite contrary, but still that is charitra moh and not darshan moh, because your belief is correct. But the adoration of false preceptor in place of true preceptor is a contrary practice, because the instrumental cause of right belief in tattvas is the true preceptor. Okay. Therefore, due to shyness, if someone adopts perverse instrumental cause, then how could he attain staunch belief in tattvas, which is the desired result? Hence, the rise of darshan, moh, faith deluding karma is possible there. Okay. So if your belief is correct, you will not indulge as far as the understanding goes. And if it is a rise of charitramonia karma, your understanding still will remain firm, but because of the weakness, you are not able to uh, indulge in the conduct that is appropriate to that stage. Okay, but your belief is still right. So you can compromise on charitra monia, but you cannot compromise on darshan monia. Okay, darshan monia means you are under the influence of delusion, and charitra monia means that you are not under the influence of delusion, but because of your weakness you are not able to immerse in yourself at this stage. So you are indulging in all kinds of passions, but there is no illegal things happening in your life. Okay, so this much is the difference between faith deluding karma and the conduct deluding karma. Okay, faith deluding karma can go off in one moment, but conduct deluding karma goes off gradually. It takes time. Example, if you switch off the fan, okay, the fan has the current has been disconnected to the fan, so the fan is no longer uh, live or active. Okay, but it is still moving. Why it is moving? Because it was moving earlier. Now you have switched it off, so it will take some time to come to a standstill. Till that time, the speeds will gradually be decreasing. Okay, and one time will come when it will completely stop. But the the main function was the switch, so you have already switched off. So darshan monia has gone. The charitra monia will take some time to go. Okay, so never worry for the charitra monia. This whole life is to be spent to eradicate darshan monia. Okay, so that should be our first and foremost target. So this is the end of the discussion of the characteristics of a false preceptor. We discussed from different angles, and Todarmalji kept on raising questions, whatever doubts a seeker might have, and those questions were also very good. It will help you to take firm decisions in your life. Okay. Now we move on to the last topic of this chapter, that is exposition of false religion and denial of faith in it. So false gods, false preceptor, and false religion. So 2 already we have discussed, and now we are discussing false religion. What is a false religion and why we should not have faith in it? Okay. So the discussion starts. We are on to page number 265. Okay. You can see it on the screen. And Aditi Jain, you read it now. And then Priyanka ji will. But we are just end of our class, but still 10 minutes are left, so we will see as much as we can.
So exposition of false religion.
Exposition.
Ex exposition of false religion and denial of faith in it. Now the false religion is being discussed. Believing such acts and dispositions to be religion, which involve injury, etc., sins, and which cause increase in carnal desires, etc., is to be known as false religion. Indulging in the activities of oblation, wherein great injuries involved, killing of big animals is caused, sensual pleasures are fostered, cruel concentration is developed due to injurious attitude towards jivas, desire of fulfillment of selfish ends arises by harming others due to intense greed. Believing all such acts to be religious acts is a false religion. Further, people take baths, etc., in so-called holy places, which cause injury to innumerous big and small living beings. It provides relaxation to the body, therefore, it fosters sensual pleasures and increases carnal desires. Thus, one increases his passions out of sport and wrongly believes all such activities to be religion. But all this is false religion. Further, he gives donation during the period of transition, Samkranti, eclipse, and great calamity, etc., and gives donation for the purpose of neutralizing the effect of the planets of bad omen, gives donation to the greedy persons by knowing them worthy recipients. In donation, he gives gold, elephant, house, sesame, etc. articles. But Samkranti, etc., are not religious festivals. By movement of the planets, etc., stellars, the Samkranti or transition, etc., are caused. And the donation given for the mitigation of the effect of bad planets, etc., is not religious donation because it is given due to the fear of excessive greed, etc. Moreover, the greedy persons are not worthy recipients of donation because the greedy persons cheat through many false tactics. They do not do even a little good. Benefaction is actually caused only when the dunny practices religion with the help of donations received. But on the other hand, he indulges in sinful conduct. How would benefaction be caused to a person who helps in sinful acts? The same thing is stated in Sanyasara Shastra. Meaning
Rayansar.
Okay. Rayansar Shastra. Meaning, giving charity to pious persons is like the splendor of the fruits of Kalpavriksha. This act is splendorous as well as pleasure giving, and the charity of giving to greedy persons is like decorating the bier of a dead body. Though splendor results, yet it causes extreme distress to the owner, kinsman. Hence, there is no religion in giving charity to the greedy persons.
Stop.
Moreover,
Stop. So there are 3 reasons. Okay. Believing such act. What is a false religion? Believing such acts and disposition to be religion which involve injury. Injury here means violence. Okay. So first point is violence. If any act is being done with violence, then it is not a true religion. The second, and which causes increase in carnal desire. Carnal desires means sensual pleasures. Okay. So any act which is so now nowadays, like not nowadays, but it has been happening since long, that during Navratri, Okay, they do garbas, and the motive behind that is that they are doing a religious practice, but in actually it is not, because you are indulging in carnal desires. Your objective is to get into sensual pleasures. Okay, so how can it be true religion? And the third part is uh, uh, is to be known as false religion. Acha. So the third part is not given here, but it is passions. Okay. Vishay kashai ki vriddhi ho. Okay. Which cause increase in carnal desires, etc. No, carnal desires, etc. Nahi, carnal desires, passions, etc. Passion is missing, you write it down. Carnal desired as passions. So 3 points are there. Involving injury. Injury means violence. So a true religion will never have violence in it. The second is it will never have any kind of carnal desires. And the third is it will never indulge in passions. Okay. If you are indulging in passions, it cannot be a true religion. Okay. So these are all false religion. This is the definition of false religion. The first 3 lines are very important. After carnal desires, comma, you add passions, etc. Okay. In Hindi, it is written Vishay Kashai. So Vishay is carnal desires and Kashai is passions. Indulging in the activities of oblation wherein great injury is involved. Again, great injury, so false religion. Killing of being animals, again violence, false religion. Sensual pleasures are fostered, false religion. Cruel concentration is developed due to injurious attitude towards jivas, false religion. Desire of fulfillment of selfish ends, greeds, etc., false religion. Again, it's a passion only. By harming others due to intense greed, believing all such acts to be religious act is a false religion. So you will come across many such religions who in the name of religion are, just now I gave you an example of Garba. So on one hand they want to do religion, and on the other hand they are getting involved in the sensual pleasures. Similarly in Ganpati, during immersion, they uh, they they engage this hi-fi music system and all are dancing and dancing in the name of God. So what is this? This is all false religion. And further people take bath. Now we have a Kumbh Mela. Yeah. Kumbh Mela going on, people take holy bath. People take bath then in so-called holy places, which causes injury to innumerable big and small living beings. Okay. It provides relaxation to the body. Therefore, it fosters sensual pleasures. So why is taking dip in the holy river? Because it provides relaxation to the body. That means your objective is sensual pleasure. So how it could be a true religion? And increases carnal desires. So these are all false religion. Thus one increases his passion out of sport and wrongly believes all such activities to be religion, but all this is false religion. Further, he give donations during the period of transition, Sanskranti, eclipse and great calamities, etc., and gives donation for the purpose of neutralizing the effect of the planets of bad omen. Okay. Gives donation to the greedy persons by knowing them worthy recipients. Again, this is false religion. Whom you should donate. There is a responsibility on the head of the people who are donating, that you should give donation to only those people who are worthy of those donations. If you give donation to a greedy people, then it is not religion. Okay. In donation, he gives gold, elephant, house, sesame, etc. articles, but some Kranti, etc. are not the religious festivals. Okay. By movement of the planets, etc., stellars, the Samkranti transition, etc., are caused, and donation given for the mitigation of the effect of bad planets is not religious donation, because it is given due to fear and excessive greed, etc. Moreover, the greedy persons are not worthy recipients of donation because the greedy persons cheat through many false tactics. They do not they do not even they do not do even a little good. 1 minute. 1 minute. Huh? So sorry. Moreover, the greedy persons are not worthy recipients of donation. Okay. So it's the responsibility of the donor to ascertain whom he is donating, and if he is donating for a purpose, that purpose is being achieved or not. And that's why there are now MBAs being done on philanthropic activities, So large industrialists, they engage this professional to see that their donations are being spent in the right manner and in the right purpose. Okay. How would benefaction be caused to a person who helps in sinful acts? So if you are now supposing you give money to a beggar and he goes and drinks alcohol, then how you could be benefited? Okay. So you should be very careful in what you donate, where you donate, to whom you donate, and whether the purpose is being achieved or not. Okay. So our time is over. So we keep it from here. Tomorrow we will, although we have read this paragraph of Rayan's Art Shastra, but we will discuss it tomorrow only. Now the time is over.
This Rayana Shastra is written by Acharya Kundukundar only.
Yeah. Kunkund Acharya has written.
That is Rayana Shastra is only for this conduct of Stravakas.
Yes. Okay, we'll start from there and we'll close
Sir,
here.
small information. Do we have to pay our fees up? The
Yes.
new year has started.
Yes.
Yeah. Just.
And you also order the books like Moksmarg Prakasak and all.
Please, can you share the link, sir?
Okay, Aditi ji will share the links. No problem.
Also, sir, we that account Aditi ji, that account IFC code and all, because we are not using app.
IFC code
I will check and tell you.
IFC code is given there in the
Thank you.
payment.
I will send you the link. I will
okay.
it and send it to you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत